Hello everyone! Good to see you again. Today we're gonna read a very little special story called Bubble Buster by Alan Horsfield. It's quite a funny story. Have a look. Yeah! Yes. On a Sunday, books are your best friend. And if you ever feel alone, just grab a book and read it. It's really good fun. Okay. Buster and the Compost. Buster loved pool parties. He could jump and bomb, he could splash and muck about. He jumped on Holly's blow-up seal. The seal burst. It hissed as it sped across the pool. That's not very nice. Whoa, said Buster. But Holly was not amused. Her seal looked like an old plastic bag. Buster dived under the water when his father pointed an angry finger at him. Buster saw Holly playing with her bubble maker. As she made bubble after bubble, he began to chase them. Soon he was popping all the bubbles. He liked hearing them pop. I love hearing popping bubbles too. I'm the Bubble Buster, he shouted. Holly, Holly, can I have a go? As long as you don't break it, said Holly. Holly is his sister. Buster dipped the wire ring into the soapy water and blew into the circle. A stream of little bubbles came out, tiny ones. Next, he made long, wobbly bubbles, a big one like a worm. Then he wanted to blow square bubbles. He bent the ring into a square. The wire broke. Uh-oh. Buster! Holly cried and punched him. Surprised by the punch, Buster stepped back, slipped, and fell onto the garden. Uncle Fred had just put compost on the flower bed. Buster was covered in compost. Ew. Holly felt like laughing and crying at the same time. Look at that. Uncle Fred held his nose. Phew, you stink! Dad sprayed Buster with the hose. Ah, gasped Buster. Now go have a shower, said his father. Chapter 2. Buster and the Huge Bubble. In the shower, Buster made bubbles. He used shampoo, soap, and some bubble bath and water. He made more and more bubbles, making a frothy suit. With his foot over the drain, the shower began to fill with water. Cheeky. Buster stomped with his other foot to make more bubbles. They filled the shower and water flooded out the door and across the lawn. The bubbles joined together, making a bigger and bigger bubble. Soon there was one huge bubble. It's like he's inside a bubble. It's my favorite trick. Buster was inside a huge bubble. Whoa, he thought. The bubble rose. A gust of wind sucked the bubble from the shower and out of the door. Buster's father ducked. Uncle Fred took a step back and slipped into the water. Out in the bright sunlight, the bubble began to rise. He was even flying with a little bird. Up it rose. Whoa, thought Buster. He could see Holly was amazed. Her face grew smaller and smaller. He could see the whole yard. Then he could see the whole street. Wow! He was floating away. He could end up in Africa. He could end up on the moon. He could end up anywhere. It was time for the Bubble Buster to take control. This is the Bubble Buster. He was about to burst the bubble when he looked down. He was way above a sea of rooftops. Oh no, he moaned. He was up in the sky. The bubble floated gently on. It passed over roads full of toy cars, toy people, and toy houses. He was heading towards a giant chimney stack. Smoke billowed from the chimney. The bubble got black and sooty. It was hard to see where he was going. Bubbles don't like pollution. Bubbles like clean air. Of course he wasn't having a good time. Buster leaned over to try to see. The bubble sagged and began to roll. Buster tumbled around as though he was in a tumble dryer, like in a washing machine. He was scared. What if he broke the bubble with his foot? He was so high. The bubble slowed as it moved into clear sky. Buster was glad to have left the suit and smoke behind, of course. The afternoon sun made the bubble hot inside. It was expanding. The bubble's wall grew thinner like a balloon, because bubbles dehydrate, as you very well know. If there's not enough humidity, they will pop. Very, very dangerous. Buster began to sweat. The thin walls could barely hold him. Yes, that could be a way to improve humidity with sweat. Did you know there was one bubble once, like a scientist man who put it in a jar, and that bubble lasted for almost 1 year? Yeah, 360 and something days. Anyway, let's continue with our story. And Buster kept still. He kept very, very still. Suddenly he was in shadow. The bubble was sucked up into a storm cloud where it was cold. The bubble began to shrink. It's a storm. Holly's clever idea. Holly's his sister. Night came. Wind caught Buster's bubble and moved it across the black sky. The cool air made him sink lower. Now he was over a park. He could see sparkles of light below. Maybe they're having a party, Buster thought. Suddenly, the night sky was full of fireworks. A rocket raced past. A shower of bright sparks lit the sky and fell to earth. A spark shook the bubble, then another. It was about to burst. But the sparks just made the bubble spin and rolled away. Buster tumbled and tumbled. The world spun around him like in a washing machine. He didn't know which way was home. Buster huddled up and closed his eyes to stop the tears. He thought he would never see his father or Uncle Fred or Holly ever again. But Holly has worked out how Buster could find his way home. Clever girl! Buster opened his eyes. He could see a small light up ahead. It was Uncle Fred's swimming pool. Holly had turned on the lights in the pool. She was sure Buster would see them. She was right. Buster headed for the pool. If you want to see a photo here. That's the swimming pool and the lights around it. Holly threw a paper plate. It went flying up towards the bubble. Slowly, so slowly, its edge nicked the bubble. The bubble burst. Buster was falling. He thought he was going to break every bone in his body. Dangerous. Splash! He landed in the pool. As he got out of the water, Uncle Fred put a towel around his shoulders. Buster turned to his sister. Thanks, Holly. I owe you one. There you go. And Buster was reunited with his family again. Yeah, that's a really cute little story. This was Bubble Buster by Alan Horsfield. Yes! And don't forget, books are your best friends. And if you ever need a friend, you can always find one in a book. They will, of course, develop you and help you improve your imagination and your vocabulary as well. Thank you so much, guys, and hope to see you next Sunday again with another new story, possibly a clown one. Keep bubbling!